Hey guys, so Spencer Lum here. Today I am going to talk about the dead, stupid, obvious. But people screw this up all the time, nonetheless. I do too. Everyone does. One of my clients, we talked like a few weeks ago. 1 week after, she calls and says, I just got my first client. And the thing is, she's been working on this for like a year. Like she's been trying to get her business off the ground for a year. And so I asked her, I'm like, well, what is it that made that difference? Because I was really curious. What was it I said? What was the thing that changed things for her? And so the answer, it wasn't what I expected. And on one level, you're like, what? It wasn't some super special thing I said? But on the other, it's like, yes, of course, that's what would make the difference. But here's a little bit of a story to set the tone. Because, not too long ago, I go out and I go to one of those escape rooms with my son for his birthday. And so, first time I've ever been in an escape room. And if you don't know what they are, because I didn't, but apparently it's like a big trend and I'm like the last person to know. The way they go is you get stuck in a room and you got to solve a bunch of puzzles, and that's what you need to do in order to get out. Now, this one was kind of creepy as fuck, but that's not the point here. The point is that you're sitting around in this escape room and you're like, I don't know what the hell I'm supposed to do. How do I solve this? And you just start hacking away. You start looking all over the place. You look for clues. You do anything you can because that's all you can do. Well, the amazing thing is, there I am, me, my son, and his friends, and we're working through it. And at first, we've got no idea what we're doing. But slowly, things start to come together. You start to find one clue and the next. And I notice not only do we start to figure out what to do, but we start trying to figure out what we need to do. We start to understand the bigger picture and what's going on in this room and what the whole puzzle is about, until by the end, it's just a matter of, oh yeah, okay, here's the story, here's what's going on, and we just need to find this one thing, and we are set, and we totally get it. And see, this is something you have to understand, right? And it's not unique to people. I'd love to say that's what's special about humanity and blah, blah, blah. But I mean, hell, you stick a rat in a maze and guess what? It figures out how to get the cheese at the end. Because that's how things go. Like, if you keep working at stuff, you will figure things out. If you keep moving around through that maze, you'll get to the other end at some point. But most people would rather have like the whole solution laid out with all those steps ahead of time before they even try. And so instead of working through the maze, they just sit there. Like it would be as if we went to that escape room and we sat there and said, well, what's the solution? And everyone said, I don't know. And we said, well, let's think about this first and figure out what it is before we take action. Things are the other way around, right? Action leads to results. Results don't come out of nowhere. And so I asked my client, what was it that made the difference? And she says to me, well, you told me that I had a choice. Either I could get strong or I could sit around and look for the tricks. And so this is something I talk about all the time. Like to me, when I say get strong, what do I mean? Well, I mean, you build up skills, right? You build up knowledge. You get good at something so that no matter what problem is thrown your way, you can handle it. And so if you're owning a business, running a business, trying to figure out how to make it work, then the skill you need to build is the skill of running a business, which means things like marketing, sales, writing, I mean, tons and tons of stuff, but you need to build up your skills. So the thing is, once you're strong, you can handle whatever comes at you. You can adjust to things, no matter what they are. But usually, what most people go for is the tactics train, right? It's like, let me go sign up for something that's going to give me the answers, and they try it, and they hit the first roadblock, and then they don't even finish the program because they can't get past that one roadblock, and then they say, I need to go find something else. Or they hit Google, and they try to Google every single problem, as if Google was going to tell you how to solve your own life, which it will not. It'll give you directions, but it sure as hell won't tell you how to solve your life. In fact, if anything, it'll confuse you more. So that's the choice, right? Either you get strong and get good, or you look for the quick, dirty way out. Well, I talked about this, and I talked about that whole story about my son and everything with this client. She said she realized that she just needed to go out there and do all the stuff that she had been thinking about doing for that whole year. And so she went out and she reached out to a bunch of people, and she had a really bad sales talk, but she had it anyway. She had a bunch of them, and she got her first client. So that's your choice. That's the thing you got to think about, because in our minds, like, doubt is, it just, when you're starting with anything, doubt just fills your mind and you can't get past it, and you think, I have to find the answer, and you don't trust yourself. But you've got to trust yourself, because that's the only way you're going to get strong, and that's the only way you're going to make progress. So, ignore that part of your head that says, oh, this won't work, or I got to know the answer. Ignore that part of your head that says you can't figure out the answer. In fact, think of it the other way around. If you go and you do, that is the surest way to make sure. Surest way to make sure. Did I just repeat? Am I repeating myself? You get the idea. It is the surest way to get results. Okay, so if you are looking for some free training on how to grow your business and how to use content to influence people, then head on over to extraboldclass.com. Just go there, put in your email, and I'll send some free training straight to your inbox. I think you're going to love it. And again, that's extraboldclass.com, and I will talk to you more next time.